Greetings, surfers of the interweb. I'm Pat Rex 11, reviewer of the good, the bad, and the underrated. Now, I'm a big fan of cartoons in general, but I have a particular affinity for superhero cartoons.
Shows like Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, and Teen Titans not only gave kids entertaining action and funny quips, but well-rounded characters and life lessons to help them grow as people. And throughout the 90s and 2000s, these shows were huge successes. However, while comic book movies began to boom in the late 2000s and early 2010s, the superhero cartoon began to go through a very sorry decline, with quite a few quality shows running for only 1 or 2 seasons before an abrupt cancellation.
Though quite a few shows fell into this unfortunate camp, the most disappointing of all for me personally was Young Justice.
This was a show with the same quality as the DC animated universe, but it differentiates itself from those shows with a spy thriller edge and a tightly written plot involving the titular team of teenage superheroes trying to stop a mysterious and powerful group of supervillains called the Light. And just as we found out who was supplying the Light with alien technology, the show was cancelled because it didn't sell enough toys. What the hell? Oh yeah, screw the high viewership, numerous awards, and large fan base that's still active to this day. If the toys don't sell, it's clearly not worth keeping alive. It was also irritating because, although it wasn't my favourite of the cancelled shows, that'd probably be Spectacular Spider-Man, this was a DC show, and they've been making quality cartoons since the 90s, so I thought they wouldn't fall into the same trap as the Marvel shows shown prior. On top of that, Cartoon Network prevented the show from crowdfunding, even though it would have almost certainly fallen through. Oh, and they cancelled Green Lantern the Animated Series after just 1 season, even though it was written by the legend himself, Bruce freaking Timm. You are lucky to be producing Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Regular Show, and We Bare Bears, Cartoon Network, otherwise I would unleash my full wrath upon thee.
But, alas, Young Justice was replaced by the cheap, puerile, and just all-around crappy excuse for a cartoon, Teen Titans Go.
A spin-off of the beloved Teen Titans cartoon from the mid-2000s, which I'm also a huge fan of, Teen Titans Go replaces character development with cheap flash animation, intricate plots with one-note characters, and thought-provoking morals with comedy so immature that Adam Sandler would cringe at it.
But hey, it's toy sales, so we're gonna have this crap around for a long time. Shoot me now. Are you joking, you psycho? How'd you get in here? But before we break that mysteriously now gone into... If you like this show, good for you. I mean that with the most sincerity. I am incredibly happy you can find happiness in something that I personally find to be the worst children's cartoon on television.
So when I heard a crossover between these two shows was going to occur, I cringed at what the team behind my least favourite cartoon would do to my beloved Young Justice.
But does this crossover of two shows, so vastly different in both tone and quality, made by writers who clearly don't know how to write, animators who don't know how to animate, and directors who don't know how to direct, have that special magic that makes it all come together? Am I kidding? Of course nothing about this works. But instead of laughing at it for the spectacularly dumb idea it is in concept, I'm going to review it for the incredible catastrophe it is in practice. Let's dive into the steaming pile of elephant dung known as Teen Titans Go's. Let's get serious.
This episode starts with the Titans about to face the high five, and Robin makes a heroic speech, but the others start making fart noises because Robin is being too serious.
Dude, why do you take yourself so seriously?
Yeah, have a laugh once in a while.
You guys do know that a large element of crime fighting is intimidating criminals. When you look like a court jester's pet monkey who stole Gray's hair, that's kind of hard to do.
Since you lot are beings with incredible superpowers, you could, I don't know, help him.
But the Toddler Titans' comedic interactions are interrupted by the Young Justice team. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just Superboy, Miss Martian, and Aqualad. And only Aqualad gets a line because he and Cyborg are both voiced by Carrie Payton.
What a crossover, where only 3 characters from one of the shows appear and only one gets any dialogue.
Look how serious they are.
Ooh, they have the eyes of righteousness.
No one's even smiling.
I feel so intimidated. And I like it.
Well, they are fighting criminals. You kind of have to take a life or death situation reasonably seriously. I mean, I can understand Aqualad looking serious since he's the leader, and Superboy because he can be a pouting stick in the mud, but really? Miss Martian looking serious and not saying a single word? Really? Miss Shy, optimistic, cookie-baking, hello-mechaning, afraid of her power and true appearance Martian? I find that unlikely. And how is Connor able to fly now rather than just leaping? Did he get more of those human DNA suppressing nicotine patches from Luther? So Robin goes up to Aqualad acting like he doesn't know him. But they should at least know a different version of themselves, but this show mucks up its own continuity so much that I'll just ignore it.
Your way to a pie-eating competition.
What's that supposed to mean?
Did someone say pie?
I love pie!
When I say I want, you say pudding brains.
Quick, before they see us. Who is ready for another of the girls' night out?
Wait, I thought Jinx was a good guy. Oh wait, no continuity. Forgot, sorry.
Superheroes are supposed to inspire hearts and teach valuable lessons about friendship and life.
Wait, how come Aqualad's criticisms are valid? These are all legitimate problems the show has.
Do you need me, episode? Because I could just go out there and make a cup of tea while you criticize yourself, okay? Okay.
What? Lessons like books can be dangerous? Or what is better, burgers or burritos? You are a mockery of everything the world holds sacred about heroes.
Come on, what is so bad about being a little silly from time to time?
I am all for a good laugh, but the Teen Titans cannot be serious for one single moment.
Nothing quite like letting the awfulness of something speak for itself. Here's to other shows simply pointing out their own flaws instead of actually fixing them.
Oh, and if any of you fans out there say that this is the show playfully mocking itself, I'm British. I know a thing or two about self-deprecating humour in that you actually have to make a joke out of it. For example, if someone suggested,
Mr. X11, we need you to compete in the fun run even though we have no experience running. But sir, I have about as much chance winning that race as Kanye West does becoming president. Well, there are people who can actually run, but you have a good academic record, which of course means you can run well. Well, we need to keep up our reputation, as a young man. You do realise that clever people aren't usually that good at sport. Okay. There! I both pointed out my flaws and made fun of an egotistical hack. And then again, he would probably make a better president than Donald Trump.
simply pointing out your flaws doesn't make for good comedy or comedy period. It just makes you look like a lazy jerk. And that's pretty much the extent of the crossover. Aqualad makes this 2-minute appearance and another 30-second one later, but other than that, nada. So the Teen Titans Go writers were basically lying to us when they said this crossover would be anything substantial. How do you feel about that, fans?
That would be like saying Slade would appear in an episode even though he doesn't when the episode is named after him. Common sense is tinkling. What's the strange foreboding I feel?
Okay, let's get into my general criticism of the show, even though Aqualad left me with very little to criticise. Killjoy. The animation is terrible. It just looks so cheap and tacky. It looks like it's bringing a kid to work day every day at the studio, and when the characters move, it looks like there are frames missing. The colour pad's so bright it just makes my eyes want to vomit rainbows. At first I thought this was because the show was flash animated, since other shows like Johnny Test look similarly awful to Teen Titans Go, but now Friendship is Magic has come along, and show that Flash can be used to beautiful effect, so these shows have no excuse now. Thanks ponies, hoof bump. The voice acting is also really awkward. They have veteran voice actors on the show. Scott Menville, Tara Strong, Hidden Walsh, Carrie Payton, Greg Sipes, they're all excellent. But the lines are either shouted, yes, even Raven, or sound like the VAs are praying for Andrea Romano to come back down from voice direction heaven. Now I'll admit, I was initially open to the idea of this show. I could accept a comedy-based Teen Titans cartoon. Just look at the new Teen Titans shorts, they're really funny. but the comedy in the show is just abysmal. Every line is meant to be wacky and funny, which will give a viewer no time to breathe if they were actually humorous. In the original, there was excellent comedy, usually from Beast Boy or Starfires being weird and silly while Cyborg and Raven play off them as the straight man. Here, each Titan has the same personality, a goofy, dim-witted slacker. Yeah, they have little quirks here and there, but they're all just meant to be wacky with no straight man to play off. For example, this scene.
None of you are!
That's not funny because it's just weirdness playing off weirdness. Plus those body movements are like something from a Cronenberg movie. It's like if I went, knock knock, who's there? Nothing. Oh. That joke isn't funny because it's missing a punchline, and the lines in the show are exactly that. Every joke is just something the Titans say that's wacky and silly before Robin says stop because apparently he's an egotistical stick in the mud now.
Oh god, I just realised Robin is the show's general representation of the haters. Yep, the most iconic superhero sidekick, who eventually became one of the greatest superheroes in his own right, is now a vessel for the writers to vent their frustration about not being able to write. Did I mention I hate this show?
Plus, if the Toddler Titans are both failing to catch criminals and setting the few they capture free, Robin's right. They need to change if they want to be better heroes. So for some reason, Robin is sent into a crisis about Aqualad's remarks. You'd think his ego would be enough to rebuke them, because, yeah, egotistical stick in the mud. God, I hate this show.
Because you've all become real jokesters! Even Raven.
Oh, this again. Okay, I guess I'll just watch season 1 of Arrow, try and pick up a date, and ooh, feed that alien invasion that I don't have the budget to show on screen. See you later.
Look at Cyborg! He's half man and half machine. It should be tearing you apart. Are you a man or are you a machine?
Whoa.
Yes, but that's how we become stronger. By being torn apart and coming back together.
I do not understand, Robin.
Of course you don't. Because you're an alien and that's your struggle. You should all be struggling.
Oh, one of those could have gone better. I'll give you 3 guesses. That's right. The first half of Arrow season 1 was kind of boring. Oh, and the date didn't go that well. But at least Earth is safe from those aliens that I can't show.
So, yes, this show is basically saying that we're crybaby nitpicks for seeing complex characters reduced to idiotic jerks. So, if you didn't want to be compared to the original Teen Titans, why didn't you do your own concept? Or if you had to make a show about the Titans, use a different teams to the originals. Hell, why did you even need the voice cast and designs of the Murakami show? Oh yeah, that's because you wouldn't know creativity if it hit you on the head wielding Mjolnir with an army of nuclear-powered blobfishes with lasers backing you up, would you? Just saying.
Are you down in the dumpster because the real heroes made us look completely inadequate?
What? Why aren't the Titans heroes? They save people, they defeat villains, they teach children like me what I was good lessons. Why aren't they heroes? They're just that way because you made them like that show and just passing it off because, oh, they're not heroes. No, they are more than that. Marv Wolfman didn't work his ass off to make a great comic and Glenn Murakami to make an excellent show just so the Titans could end up like this. They are more than the simple, unfunny, ignorant imbeciles that you made them. I'm sorry, viewers. I don't like to get angry in these reviews. But when someone takes my childhood heroes, just screws them up, chews them up, and makes them like this, I'm going to get peeved.
So the Titans say how great it would be to be serious. And then this happens.
It's time to get really, really, really serious. No time for toys. No time for food. There's no time to be in a good mood. Serious. In a serious nose. Serious faces in a serious pose. It's time to say something really, really serious.
What is this? I'm a chaos spirit. And I'm finding your lack of logic disturbing. I mean, what is this?
Did Frank Miller get hired as an animator due to his creative bankruptcy? Did someone slip venom in the Titans' baby bottles? It just seems like they wanted to make them as unappealing to the eyes as possible. I mean, I've seen Dalek mutants with more flattering features than them. They've gone from the Teen Titans to the Toddler Titans to the Bane Titans. And they constantly look like they're constipated.
Who among you would like to sing a song about pie?
How can I sing when I'm so conflicted? I've been so conflicted and unhappy all this time and never even knew it.
Yeah, who wants to see good characters done justice or actually funny jokes when we have entire episodes dedicated to toilet humour or two characters saying one word for the whole runtime? I mean, Adventure Time is primarily a wacky comedy show and its characters have a ton of depth. Oh, and it's actually creative and funny. Maybe you should be taking notes, Titans Go writers. The problem isn't that the characters aren't complex. As I said earlier, I could accept if their personalities were a little bit simplified. The problem is that they're being flanderized beyond recognition and that the show just isn't funny. If the show were funny, its flaws would be more forgivable, but since it's failing at its main function and refuses to fix any of its problems, it seems like a teenager thinking everyone else is stupid and wrong.
And take it from me, show, no one likes an attitude like that. So grow up.
The Bane Titans then see the High Five, who by the way are villains who were freed due to the Titans' incompetence, are launching some death rocket for random evil stuff, I guess.
Of course!
And so they go off to the Arctic to fight them. Gee, apparently the serious Titans were so expensive to animate they couldn't afford to draw backgrounds. Or they just couldn't give a damn. You decide. I don't really care at this point.
We're done playing games with you, Hive.
Really? That's too bad.
Ooh, let me help you.
No, I wish the episode had ended that way, but oh well. The Titans proceed to beat up the High Five in some sloppily done action made up of nothing but freeze frame and slow motion. I know this show is supposed to be a comedy, which it too is debatable, but as some sources class this show as an action comedy, I'll comment on it. Still better than shaky cam, I guess. The Titans beat the High Five, but the rocket still launches. I guess that makes Cyborg a liar then. To do that transformation, you'd have to be entirely robotic, unless you wanted your human parts crushed. So the Titans fire a penis beam,
Oh my!
and destroys the rocket. So only afterwards do the team show up, but they compliment the Titans on their victory.
I just worry. Is it too serious?
Hey, they beat the criminals and stop people getting hurt. That's a thing superheroes would actually do. Even if they still have the character of Badger Snot and don't resemble the Titans in any way, at least they're somewhat competent. Then the Titans go home and start to bicker among themselves because that's what superhero teams do, right? The thing is, superheroes usually bicker over major things, like someone's death or personal bias. When they bicker over babyish things, it's just more puerile humour. I mean, they bicker over juice. Freaking juice! When will they stop being the Toddler Titans and actually become the Teen Titans?
Juice!
And I enjoyed every sip of it!
I can see every single zit on your faces. Could you please take a few steps back?
Anywho, they yell at each other and the Titans Tower blows up because... reasons? And the Titans separate?
This be the end of the Teen Titans? I thought being serious would bring us closer, but it's only driven us apart.
Hooray! Huh? Screw this show! I mean, yeah, again, if you like this show, I'm happy for you. Heck, write your own review, rebuking all my points, but what is there to like about this?
The comedy is awful, the story non-existent, characters identical and unlikable in personality, animation cheap, and now all it does is insult people. Not playfully mock, insult. It insults people who don't like the show, it insults fans of the original, it insults fans of the comics, and now it insults those of us who are still bitter over Young Justice's cancellation. That ending scene pretty much sums up the show's attitude. It thinks it's always right and shouldn't change, even when barely anyone likes it and has glaringly obvious, fatal flaws. We don't want a serious show, we want a good one. Hell, the original had emotional and dark moments, but it also had episodes where the Titans got baked into a pie, or they were turned into animals, and Beast Boy into a lamp, and trapped in a magician's hat. The show wasn't entirely serious, but when it did both comedy and drama, it did them well. The Titans Go writers have basically confirmed this was an elaborate way to flip the bird at those who don't like the show, and to show them, this is what you get with the serious Titan show. Despite shows like this, many have said that we're going through a golden age of cartoons, with shows like Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and because of those, I agree in many respects. So in this time, when kids' cartoons can push the boundaries of animation, storytelling, addressing cultural issues, and overcoming predetermined stereotypes, it pains me that we still have cheap, mindless, pandering bullcrap like Teen Titans Go.
Here's hoping the rumours of Netflix giving Young Justice's third season are true, but in the meantime, I think I'll watch a little more Gravity Falls. I'm PatRex11 and... What's this?